Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLuga. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tuesday, July 29th, Jaguars Training Camp Practice number 6 in the books. We are going to go over everything that I saw and heard at practice today. It was the second day of full pads, and it was very competitive. It was hot. This was by far the hottest day of practice so far. They're doing it in the morning. This was a little bit of a longer practice. I think it was close to 10:30 when practice ended, so almost 2 hours out there in the heat. And yes, it was hot at 8 o'clock this morning. I mean, it is a blessing that they're not doing these practices later in the day, because that would be pretty much unbearable for everybody, coaches, media, and especially the players. But again, second day in pads for the Jaguars. We're going to go over everything. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. We just dropped the pre-order for our Duval football t-shirt, brand new shirt. Check it out, genjag.com/shop. So getting into just the injury updates. Patrick McCarry's still out with back spasms. Johnny Munt has an upper body injury. He's still out. Dennis Gardeck, Mason Smith, they're both still working on the side on the active/PUP. I think that according to Liam Cohen, they're both progressing. Tootin was off to the side again for the second straight day. He's dealing with a lower body injury. We talked about Buster Brown a lot yesterday. He's going to be out for the remainder of camp with a left lower leg injury. And Louis Rees-Zammit also has a back situation. And I think he would be on the active/PUP list. But because he is that international pathway player, the Jaguars don't really need to ever put him on a list like that, because he is a free roster spot, right? So that is the update there. Looking at some positional drills, they are incredibly physical, whether you're talking about the DBs, the linebackers, the offensive line and defensive line. You continue to see them focusing on getting the ball out on defense. You saw the DBs and the linebackers trying to do that today. The linebackers just driving the bags to and through the ground. I get this sense of real physicality from this training camp practices so far. The receivers, they were practicing jump balls in the end zone, and they were getting hit with pads in the air by the coaches, right? So like very physical. They're focusing on specific skills. I really like that. Heard from both Foye Oluokun and defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile after practice. I think that the focus, and there's a lot of different focuses obviously, but one of the big takeaways that seems like it's different, hearing from different defenders, especially Foye Oluokun, who's one of the smartest guys on the team, always is, and a leader and just a great player. But Foye talks about he feels like the players around him know the why. The safeties know the why. They know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. They know where he's supposed to be. It's much more of a eyes in the backfield, eyes on the quarterback defense, and it allows them to play smarter, to play faster, to be able to be free to just do their job. And he's feeling like he's not having to worry as much about making sure where everybody is and everybody's aligned in the right spots, because everybody has been coached and is taking in the information, processing it, and taking it to the field much better. And so obviously that will be tested more when you talk about actual games, preseason and regular season, specifically regular season. But to me, the fact that Foye is talking about that and talking about how he feels like this is a similar situation to 2022. You come in, it's a new regime, you have a chip on your shoulder, everybody's doubting you. He feels like they have that same kind of chip and that same kind of energy. So I think that's big. I think that's very cool to see. Saw some couple little minor skirmishes, which you're going to see little things like that for sure during padded practices, during training camp. It gets hot, it gets frustrating, all that good stuff. Tempers flare a little bit, but it was nothing that really slowed down the flow of practice in any significant way. You saw a lot of guys getting after it for a brief moment after a play in the red zone. Foye Oluokun and LaQuint Allen were both involved there. You saw Fortner get pretty feisty with Ventrell Miller after he popped one of the running backs. So Just little things like that, but nothing that really delayed practice or took long or got overly intense. Run defense, I do think they took what happened yesterday personal. And yesterday it felt like every runner popped off multiple big runs. You did not see a ton of impressive Tank Bigsby runs or Travis Etienne runs today. So, like the starters on defense, I thought were doing a really good job against the run today because the offensive run game, from my vantage point, from Liam Cohen's vantage point, they had a better day than the run defense yesterday. And so I think the defense took that personal and they really brought it today and did a good job. The one injury from today, Hunter Long got shaken up, was on the ground for a little bit. You had everybody kind of kneeling. This was right at the end of practice. But he got up. He looked okay, was kind of gingerly walking with the help of a trainer. Looked like some sort of leg situation, but don't want to really, try to figure or talk about an injury I don't really know about yet. So Hunter Long, some sort of looked like lower body injury, but was able to walk off with the help of a trainer. So hopefully he's okay because he's at a good camp. And I think he projects to be the Jaguars' second tight end behind Brenton Strange. So I did mention, I think the defense took it personally yesterday with the running backs, especially Tank Bigsby had a really good day yesterday. I think that to start practice today, Etienne had a couple nice runs. Travis Etienne did have a couple nice runs in team. And De'Ami Brown had a long run in team. After that, starting defense really kind of put an end to the big runs. So it started out again with the offense looking much stronger in the run game. And of course, if De'Ami Brown's running the ball, you can imagine what type of play that might be. But yeah, after that, Foye Lukin, Devin Lloyd, Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, the guys on the interior, they really got after it in the run game. You saw LeQuint Allen drop a little bang, really quick, short pass. Nick Mullins was under pressure, fired the ball in there. Probably a play that Allen would like to get back, but not really a big deal. I think he was like right around the line of scrimmage anyways. It would have amounted to much in a game, much significance, but just something to keep in mind. LeQuint Allen is one of the better pass-catching receivers that we saw in the draft this year. Also a really good pass protector, but wasn't able to get that one. Jordan Jefferson tipped at the line, had a tipped pass at the line. It was good to see him do that. You've seen a lot of tipped passes at the line throughout, not just like first team, but throughout. So I think the Jaguars defense is doing a really good job up front of reading the quarterback's eyes and trying to get their hands on the ball. And you've seen that a good bit. Jaquindon, he keeps doing work. Jaquindon Jackson, he had like probably 4 or 5 good runs today. Cam Camper almost came down with a really nice grab in team, but Aiden White got a hand in there at the last moment. All that team stuff we were just talking about was kind of just middle of the field, no crazy situations, anything like that. But then you got into the red zone portion of practice. Nick Mullins was able to hit Parker Washington for a touchdown. Jabbar Muhammad in coverage. Jabbar Muhammad was sticky in coverage today, but there were several times where the opponent, the receiver, just kind of was able to win at the last moment. Jack Kaiser got a sack, would-be sack on a obviously blitz. But Nick Mullins threw it after that too long for a touchdown, Hunter Long. So that would have been a sack, but still a nice play by Hunter Long going up and getting the football. I mentioned Jaquindon Jackson. He had a touchdown catch from Wolford, and he also had a touchdown run at the goal line and had another touchdown run later on in red zone. They had multiple red zone segments where one was really close to the goal line, like 5-yard line inside the 5. One was a little bit further out. Jaquindon Jackson scored touchdowns in both of those. He is a big physical back who has some smoothness to his game. Continue to see him make plays. Travis Etienne had a touchdown run on a draw, play fake. Lawrence really sold it very well, and then Etienne just had pretty much a wide open lane. Only had to run past, I think it was Dewey Wingard, who maybe would have made the play in live action, but I would imagine Etienne would have continued and scored. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker, I mentioned them doing good things in the run game. They did good things in pass rush as well. But they collapsed the backfield on one play and both converged on Tank Bigsby, and he would have been tackled for a couple yard loss, and really no fault of his own. There was just nothing for him to do there. Patrick Herbert had a nice catch from Nick Mullins. You saw DeJuan Smoot jump off sides one time. Emmanuel Ogbah, he was able to crush Travis Etienne in the backfield, crush that pocket, get in there quickly. That was impressive. I mentioned Jaquindon Jackson catching a touchdown pass, running in a couple other touchdowns. He also had some really nice work in pass pro, being able to read where he's supposed to be, who he's supposed to help out, who he's supposed to hit, and being a big physical back, it looked like he knew exactly what to do once he made contact with the incoming linebacker. Hunter Long had another touchdown catch, a great contested grab in the end zone from Nick Mullins. So Hunter Long had a really good practice. You really hope that he does not have to miss much time, if any. Wolford, he fumbled a snap. I think that was the second time he's done that so far in training camp, so that's something to keep in mind. We got into that short yardage situation later in practice, not red zone, just in general. In those situations, De'Ami Brown had another big run. Jaquindon Jackson had another long run. Then you got into end of half. You did see a nice Tank Bigsby run where he would have picked up a good chunk. And you saw in the end of half situations, it was a lot of like one team trying to drive the ball down, obviously, but I think you saw Trevor Lawrence do that, and you saw Nick Mullins lead the second team offense in that period. But Bigsby had a strong run in that regard, and Cam Little, he ended up going 4 of 4 during team practice today. So I think going back to like the last practice, he hit every kick he attempted in that practice. He hit every kick he attempted in this practice and team as well. So Cam Little doing really well. Had a lot of one-on-ones today. I focused today just on the receivers and the corners. As I mentioned, they're doing receivers and corners, linebackers, safeties, and running backs and tight ends all at the same time. Offensive line, defensive line, one field, the other part of the offensive line and defensive line, another field. So they've got 4 different one-on-one situations going on at a single time. So I just decided to stick with the receivers and the corners and some noticeable plays. Again, it's one-on-one. It's really designed for the receiver to be able to win. It's difficult for corners. But I did see Buster Brown was able to beat Tyson Campbell. Didn't really create a lot of separation, but at the catch point was able to come down with a couple passes against Tyson Campbell. So that was really impressive work from him. Tight coverage. You had Jordan Lewis on Travis Hunter, who made a really nice catch there. You saw BTJ and Jarian Jones going after it. BTJ beat Jarian early. A little bit later on, Jarian was pretty physical with him on a route. I think the ball was a little late. Jarian was able to pick it off with one hand. Pretty incredible play. The Jaguars socials tweeted it out. Joshua Cephas was able to have a contested catch against Christian Braswell. Eli Pankall on one route was he burned Aiden White. That was really nice from him. Lassiter was able to get a contested catch against Jabbar Muhammad. Saw Dorian Singer beat Caleb Ransaw. That's a tough assignment for a safety trying to cover Dorian Singer, who is just a burner, really good route runner. Travis Hunter beat Jordan Lewis, got the crowd fired up after it, came over and ran over like right in front of me and was hyping up the crowd. But it looked like that was a play where you just see those micro movements from Travis Hunter, where he is able to create separation, and Jordan Lewis just could not quite run with him. Eli Pankall had another catch contested against Christian Braswell, and then you saw Parker Washington at the end of that period have a contested catch versus Jabbar Muhammad. I mentioned Muhammad was in tight coverage a lot, but was not able to make the plays on the ball today that he would have liked to. And then obviously we round things out with Trevor Lawrence, and I didn't mention this, but Travis Hunter was in teal the entire time today, so his only offense today. I imagine very soon we will be seeing Travis Hunter have a practice where he works on both sides. So Trevor Lawrence, 12 of 16 total on the day. I tweeted out 12 of 17. We'll talk about why I'm saying 12 of 16 versus what I tweeted out 12 of 17. Okay, so completed his first pass and team to Brenton Strange, and team today was again all 11 on 11. There was no 7 on 7. Completed the pass to Brenton Strange. for a nice chunk yardage, probably 20 yards. So that was a good play for the offense. Second play, Foye and Tyson closed on a window, incompletion, throwing it to Brian Thomas Jr., but those two guys both closed on that window very quickly. That was impressive. Then you get into red zone work. 2 of 3. And completed the next pass, touchdown to Travis Hunter. It probably would have been a sack by Josh and or Trayvon Walker. Both applied pressure. Lawrence rolled out and found Travis Hunter for a touchdown in the end zone. Obviously, I included that one because it wasn't 100% clear if it would have been a sack. So just keep that in mind. That was a bang-bang. Could have been a sack. Could have been Trevor Lawrence stepping up, avoiding pressure, rolling out. Next play in the red zone, incomplete pass. Eric Murray had a pass breakup versus Britton Strange in the back of the end zone. Very good play by Eric Murray. Next play, he missed Brian Thomas Jr. There was a little bit of pressure. It was too hot coming out, too far in front of Brian Thomas Jr., who was running across the back of the end zone, and I actually had to deflect that one. It was coming in hot. Bounced off the ground, bounced up right to me. 2 of 5 on the day at that point. Then he really started to tighten up. I felt like he completed a pass to Hunter Long to get to 3 of 6. He completed another pass to Travis Hunter to get to 4 of 7. Next 2 plays would have been sacks. Sacked by Devin Lloyd, and Josh Hines Allen would have been there as well. But Trevor Lawrence threw it after that, and Travis Hunter was in the back of the end zone, couldn't quite get both feet down. So that's the only play that I said where Trevor Lawrence actually threw the ball, but it definitely would have been a sack. So if you want to count that one as an incompletion, you can. It definitely would have been a sack, so it wouldn't have mattered. Both of those guys had him dead to rights, right? Another sack after that one, which he didn't even try to throw the ball because he got sacked, bottom line. He didn't get hit, but like there was just nothing he could do. First Trayvon and then Foye Oluokun. He then got to 5 of 8 with a completion to Brian Thomas Jr. You then saw more of that short yardage I mentioned. 5 of 9. Jordan Lewis had a pass breakup short versus Brian Thomas Jr. Jordan Lewis continues to get pass breakups. Lawrence then had a designed run where he would have picked up a good amount of yards. Again, that was short yardage, so it would have been exactly what they were looking for there. 6 of 10 he got to on the next throw, a deep pass to De'Ami Brown, and then a short pass to De'Ami Brown to get to 7 of 11. He got to 8 of 12 on another completion to Travis Hunter, 9 of 13 completion to Brian Thomas Jr., 10 of 14 completion to Brian Thomas Jr. Then he got to 11 of 15 on a tight window throw to De'Ami Brown, and then his final throw of the day, it was a little high for Brian Thomas Jr., but he was able to snag it. And so Lawrence finished 12 of 16. Very impressive overall day for Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion. Thought it was exactly what you're looking for from Trevor. Obviously, he did throw the interception in the one-on-ones, but you don't count that as a team interception. That's just that's really a drill that's more about the receivers and the corners than it is anything else. So Lawrence is now 66 of 99 total throughout 6 days of training camp with 8 touchdown passes, 1 interception, 5 drops, and 1 turnover-worthy play. I think these last 3 practices, Trevor Lawrence is really building a nice foundation and getting really comfortable in this offense, comfortable with his receivers. They're doing a good job. I thought Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., and De'Ami Brown all did a really good job for him today, and so did some of the other guys. So good day overall for the passing game. Very competitive, though, practice. Again, I thought the run defense from the defense was really strong. So that'll do it here for this practice number 6 recap. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.